Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovative, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda here of like defender of the fatherland, your only sense and source of communist entertainment, off here to 1v1 on Road to Tunis. In the southeast stands Turkey Cat. Finding here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 21st Panzerdivision here. In the northwest stands Stephenn, Australia. Fighting for America, freedom, democracy, liberty. Taking on the role here of the 3rd Infantry Division. We got a straight up rival start here for Stephenn versus a double Pioneer MD42 start here for Turkey Cat. Straight in, of course, to Mechanized. Pioneers with the sandbags on the fuel point, sandbag up the cut point here as well. Steady advance here. As always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters who helps keep the Propagandacast possible with their generous monthly support. So, 2 thumbs up to every single one of those lovely, wonderful people. Pioneers, they're done with sandbags. We got the Riflemen moving forward with their M1 Garands and their Thompson submachine gun. Southwest scouts moving about there, grabbing points. Aggressive capping order here from Stephenn. In some ways, at least, he's actually not grabbing the fuel point outside of his base, which is definitely interesting. Most players like immediately sees that fuel point here, so Stephenn there not doing so. Could be an oversight, of course. Or perhaps there's some deeper plan, I do not know. But it's definitely an unusual capture order then from Stephenn. We got the machine going forwards here for Turkey Cat, even as the Pioneers being hunted down with the rifleman. We already got Ludwig there in the hot sands of Tunisia. Oh, North Africa at least. 2nd machine gun here for Turkey Cat. Again, the machine guns are definitely a fairly popular part right now of the Wehrmacht meta game with some players. Others, of course, do prefer grenadier heavy builds or something else. But the MD42s in particular with Mechanized is sort of a faithful combo, and certainly one I imagine is going to be nerfed in the future. Pioneers are caught up with the rifleman. They're going to get pushed back here in a wave of violence here from Stephenn. Almost got the Pioneers quick wiped here, getting the right MD42 team in the start of the building. Heavy fighting here. MD42 they're setting out. Getting pretty intense around this southern building by the southern compound here. And we got a 3rd MD42. Hard MD42 built here from Turkey Cat. Another rifle spot for Stephenn. At this point, though, I have to imagine he's going to have to go for mortar. I mean, not just because of Stephenn, and Stephenn has a known thing for mortars, which is perfectly fine, of course, but also versus this many MD42s, you really want some mortars to counter them. Grab that fuel point there. Finally, I think Stephenn might have realised his slight slip up there. Grab the southern fuel point as well here. Machining gewehr there, hold forwards. Pioneers at the ready. Center being seized. Almost got the fuel point. We'll, of course, have to see what follows next for Stephenn and for Turkey Cat. In the south there, the MD42 teams there are being pushed forwards. Scouts creeping about there. Could, of course, consider the utility package here to provide smoke against the machine guns as well, plus flares. Could provide some additional tools here in the fight against this MD42 who built here from Turkey Cat. Wonder what a Turkey Cat is. Such a weird name. Anyways, machine gun being pursued here. Far up north here. Riflemen versus Pioneers here. And he's going for a 4th MD42. That is an actual build some players will go for, again, in particular conjunction here with Mechanized. Part of the reason, of course, is just fighting as infantry, you know, an infantry-focused Wehrmacht build against the Americans with a BAR rifleman typically tends to be less than ideal. So that's partly one of the reasons why I think so many players go for these MD42 heavy builds, because, well, if they're suppressed, you don't have to worry about the BAR. That's basically the short version there. There we go. Almost got the MD42 with the mortar. Very much expected here from Stephenn. And there's actually a good chance of getting wiped here on the MD42. We got smoke in the other one. No, it does allow the other MD42 to escape here. Nice save here by Turkey Cat against Stephenn. Plus the car points hit. That said, Stephenn is playing around the edges of the map here quite well versus Turkey Cat. Perhaps it's a cat that really likes turkey. I mean, Basil likes chicken. Not impossible. There's a cat out there that really likes turkey. Machine gun heading southwards there. No tech. Oh, spoke too soon. We got the Panzer Gun Company for Turkey Cat. Machine gun in the center. Corporal John Weathersby flanking in here on the MD42 by the building there. Mortar setting up here. M1 mortar. Moving about in the north here as well. Here for freedom and democracy. Machine gun held up in the northern munitions point here. Pretty aggressive setter here by Turkey Cat. We can see there, his lines are starting to have some issues there. Now the mortar is present and becomes harder to, I think, effective map control here versus Stephenn now. This is one reason, again, why mortars are quite good. They are quite good disruptive tools when it comes to like defensive setups. So thumbs up to Stephenn here for showing the way. Machine gun being pushed back, rifle pushing in. Of course, if Stephenn here was feeling particularly bold or cheeky, could even consider a second mortar, because 2 mortars would definitely, I think, put the thumb screws on that. Meanwhile, Punch Grenadier Company up here. I imagine some Punch Grenadiers are going to be forthcoming here from Turkey Cat, because some assault infantry would be, I think, a good support here for these Maschinengewehren. Of course, we'll have to see what Turkey Cat here is scheming versus Stephenn. So far, Stephenn there deploying smoke on his own men. Thumbs up. Machine guns cannot suppress them if they cannot see them. Engineers out, and we got the medical station there for Stephenn. South here, Turkey Cat and the 21st Panzer Division here moves forward, and we do get some Panzergrenadier here from the 6th Panzergrenadier Company. Right now being more than informed, we see that Stephenn is doing his best to slow down Turkey Cat's fuel income. I imagine the Turkey Cat's next will be the Achtrad here. Machine gun flanked, routed. We got the machine gun bunker carrying the machine gun. Let's see, our team there. Almost got the fuel point there. Stephenn here really doing a great job there, outrunning our Turkey Cat. Again, the mortar there makes it much harder for Turkey Cat to set up this otherwise, impenetrable line of machine gun fire he would always like to rely on. Meanwhile, Panzer there pushing force there, counter-attacking into the Americans on the car on the fuel point here. Charging in for the Faserland, riflemen sent screaming off the fields here. These being about wiring off the cover there, machine gun heading northwards. Turkey Cat trying to probe up a new front line here versus Stephenn of North Pioneer, spotted here by Stephenn's men. Quickly encircling near them and send them home. A lot of action here, and we got machine guns moving forwards. Pioneers left to grab the fuel point. Panzer gun moving forwards. Machine gun in the center here, building. That's close to center. Mortar, of course, already at work there, but the Panzer gun here could get the mortar cleared out. Or will. Yeah, he's going to spot it there and push it back. Pretty intense stuff here so far. Pushing in there, mortar being repositioned. Engineers from the flamethrower here. Panzer gun to continue to advance. Engineers pumped in there by building. Of course, Turkey Cat could then counter with a breach here or a bundled grenade. Or he could just counter by going away. North here, machine was the Ralph squad here, and we do get the Geballte Ladung here through the window. Gets out. Windows completely ruined there. You said they're being apparently close range by the Panzer Grenadier here. Gets a misclick there by Stephenn. All the way, there's a good chance of the YPS. The Panzer Grenadiers do pack a fierce punch there at short to mid ranges. There's a lot here that could go wrong here for Stephenn. Fortune, though, smiles upon Stephenn just a bit here like a kindly grandmother. Allows his men to escape the otherwise steely grasp of the Panzer Grenadier. In the south here, right heading on the fuel point there. Hands up, they can only clearly start to be concerned about Stephenn pulling armored cars or anything similar against him. He brings in the mighty Panzer up, they can only 40. Note though, no 8 lads, or even say a Stug assault group here though so far. Attempt by Turkey Cat. And Stephenn has actually brought up a second mortar in now in response here to, of course, this heavy MU-42 build. That, I think, is an excellent decision here. The opponent is spamming, machine guns. Getting a pair of mortars is a very good way of making your opponent regret that. 2 thumbs up to Stephenn here. Of course, this does, I think, really for Turkey Cat incentivize him to, getting out some Achtrats or something else. We'll see. Maschinengewehr there being hauled back from the center as Stephenn's counterattack goes forwards here for the 3rd Infantry. North points being seized here. Pretty good split so far in terms of map control here. Another player really holding the leads for long so far. Rifleman pushing forwards. Got the Pack 40 here ready. The Panzer they can only 40. Still, though, Turkey Cat is dangerously short in infantry. Achtrad in the end? Yeah, I'm not surprised. The Parliament obviously would like to see the Stug assault group with the Stug D. And, of course, more Panzergrenadier. But, I mean, the Achtrad, of course, makes a ton of sense, too. Stephenn is just on the ball with these mortars here. Oops, threatening to wipe out the MU-42 team. Almost got it, in fact, here. So, this further undermines here Turkey Cat's otherwise, MU-42 base strategy versus Stephenn. Mortifying, almost got this MU-42 team low in health, lower numbers, but high on Deutschland and Palpatine. Need to shoot that machine gun team here, though. Again, these mortars could quickly snuff it out of there. Typically use airburst or delayed fuses. So far, though, It would appear, fortunately for Turkey Cat, Stephenn is not employing such tools of the art of countering machine gun spam. So there you go, machine guns routed here, still an Achtrad here. Additional Panzergrenadier. I've got the caught on the field point here, but there you go, as the Pioneer's Panzer goes up close. The rifleman should be in trouble here. We got Betzen's one of the Panzergrenadier as well, very good. North Air machine gun goes straight at the mortars. I guess that's one way to counter the mortars. Is one way. Otto, I can't help but feel this seems a bit counterintuitive. And that's why the Americans will never expect it. He's almost wiped out here. Then another close call there for Stephens and engineers. Pushing forwards, there you go. Almost running straight into the mine here. Pack 40 there, getting gunned down by Stephens. But there you go. Triple MG42 unleashing hell upon the rifleman. That's a lot of bullets. And poor Joe and Bob get absolutely sawn apart there in an absolute insane torrent of lead. Mine goes off here. Stephenn doing a good job with his mines. Puncher there taking heavy losses. 3 men dead here from that one mine. That is some absolutely wonderful mining here. Flooding resources though. Not calling in more infantry. Not calling in Achtrads. Oh. Okay, there we go. Achrad on the way. Plus, preparing here for the support elements. That could have been Stuks and Nebelwerfers. Meanwhile, Stephenn's got the M8 Greyhound out in the field here to seek a bit more mobile control against those goddamn Krauts. 233 heading northwards, or 232 actually. The 233 is actually a version of this, but equipped with a 75mm cannon, similar to the Stummel half-track. Fun fact there. Those look actually like really cool. Part of me really hopes they add those eventually. In the south, their points being grabbed. T-Pioneers heading southwards. Holy smokes! Stephenn is not messing about. He's going for triple mortars in response to all these machine guns. Stephenn is a believer in mortar supremacy, clearly.
We are losing control of the sector.
And of course, general American doctrine, which was, of course, you know, if you can smash into the gun with artillery, then why bother sending in the guys? So, very all-American approach here from Stephenn.
Sector overrun.
Greyhound rolling forwards here. I wonder what kind of support center did he go for? I did go for mechanized. So only a bit of a range there, considering how most players just go for infantry nowadays. But Stephenn, of course, is one of those players who doesn't just do what everyone else does. He goes his own way. Rifleman there, of course, suppressed, pinned down to the ground up north. Panzergrenadier pushing forwards, but lacking any further intrinsic support in this assault. I think the limit here to what Turkey Cat can actually achieve with just a single lone Panzergrenadier squad against Greyhounds, and of course, countless mortars. Still, despite all these mortars so far, Turkey Cat continues to maintain excellent map control against Stephenn. Stephenn is not, of course, a slouch despite that. We got more Panzergrenadiers finding in the way, though. Actually, I was probably expecting a Stug at this point, but more Panzergrenadiers is definitely a thing crucial. I mean, he just needs more infantry. Panzergrenadier, Grenadiers, even Jaegers, Starstorm, whatever. He just needs some guys on the field here. Admittedly, Stephenn could also benefit from a bit more infantry, though, of course, he's not particularly incentivized to it when your opponent has like 4 machine guns. What he does have has been upgraded with the BAR there, the Browning Automatic. Push forward here by Stephenn. Machine gun being hauled to the center. We got the other one. Ah, got a bug there. Anyways, Panzer there good to go. Greyhound there catching the freshly arriving Panzergrenadier here with its 30mm gun and its 50 cal there. Machine gun's opening up the Greyhound, not doing too much damage. Not with that white phosphorus rounds. Machine gun center being attacked. We got the mortars. We got the rifle pushing forwards. Really bold of Turkey Cat to turn his machine gun towards the center, knowing that, you know, most of Stephenn's mortar at this point has easy range to the center victory point. That seems fairly ambitious to me. And there we go, we got the Stug 3G here now on the way there for Turkey Cat and the 21st Panzer Division here, even as the fight rages here across the front line. Rifle there being absolutely mauled here though. Mortar fire there after the aftercut. They're doing a bit of damage. Building nearby, ready to collapse under all of this intense, explosive scrutiny. Panzer there being hammered with the mortars. He needs to like put those mortars out of his misery there, or they're going to likely just bleed him out aggressively. Pioneers wiped out here. At this point, like, either he needs to like rush them down with something quite good at doing that, or he needs to like hit them with counter-artillery, at which point I would probably recommend the Nebelwerfer, because I think trying to counter-mortar 3 mortars is going to be a fairly tricky adventure here for Turkey Cat. Rifleman pushing forward to machining vessel to cover the flank here. Pack also in trouble here. The situation for Turkey Cat and the 21st Platoon is quite uncomfortable. Pack crew put out there. More machine guns setting up here. Just lots of lead here being spewed out. Lots of mortar bombs being returned right in the faces. We got Panzer Pioneers flanking one of the mortars. Grand there catching the Panzergrenadier here. Sturmgeschütz is ready. Could ride the Panzers long here. Try and go for a deeper flank against Stephenn here. There you go. Mortar being caught here. Rifleman there clustering right out here. Good chance of wiping fat with all these machine guns. Or does Stephenn has to like guards? Yes, he does. Close call though. Mortars almost wiped out the Pioneer, but no, gets away. Nice attempt though. Southeast Stuke pushing forward, but without a pin machine. It's also worth noting right now, he's got a lot of munitions. Honestly, he might be planning for the Panther, but he could be better to just go for like Stirring Artillery Barrage. Like just try and catch all the teams with that. Another Stuke on the way there. That's obviously pretty good too. I mean, he could also just try and go for the Vespa as well. That way, try and use that to counter, you know, Stephenn's mortar park there. Yeah, hard to say there. So on the point being grabbed, Stuke they're hanging back. Hopefully he hasn't forgotten about his mighty Sturmgeschützstraße. That would be a shame. Comes this barred up rifle and heavy cover with double bars. Push them out to them. We got poured on them here from Stephenn already ready. And yeah, he just falls back with the Panzers around to keep up this fight here. Stuke moving forwards. Still needs to add machine guns to them. Like, Stukes really benefit from the machine gun upgrade. It's very good for them. So I'm a bit surprised here that Turkey Cat, despite going for 2 Stukes, has so far not remotely bothered upgrading any of them machine guns as of yet. Okay, there we go. Machine guns on the way there. Thumbs up, at least for one of them. Definitely improvement here for Turkey Cat. We got the rifle pushing forwards here. Greyhound Engineers moving forwards well there for Stephenn. Of course, we got the mortars on reserve here, providing Stephenn cause with ample artillery support. Rifleman charging forward, so we got a sprint here from Stephenn's men. Sprint to the Axtguard. Quite hectic stuff here. Stephenn not letting up and up far north. And we got machine running out ground points here. Stuff exploding as the Greyhound just wildly fires all over the place here. Stuke's got the machine gun ready. Someone other one still has been upgraded. Panzergrenadier pushing forwards here. Taking him on lost as Rudolph gets ripped apart. Got 431 to 249 here. Stephenn definitely suffering in the victory point department. Panzergrenadier raking the way through. But they really should be have the Stukes to support them. I mean, Stephenn doesn't actually have, I think, any anti-tank. Well, he's got one anti-tank gun, but well-handled support. The Stukes and Panzers there could probably clear that up instead. Again, fortunate for Stephenn, unfortunately for Turkey Cat's men, he doesn't actually support them. And the armor then falls up a bit too late here. So, that could have been executed better, I think, there by Turkey Cat, to put it gently. Panzergrenadier company with the officer quarters on the way there. Very good upgrade, of course. Gets you Veterans 1 immediately for the stuff that hasn't gotten it from that building. Plus, help to get, you know, to the high levels eventually faster. 2. So, that's all very good to have there. Smoke being deployed a bit here. Stuke gets a good shot on the Greyhound. Anti-tank fire when there's shots bouncing off the Stukes. 80mm of somewhat sloped armor.
We have finished the research.
South here. Punch being grabbed. Got a lot of airburst shells here by the sound of it. Or those delayed fuses. I think those are actually delayed fuse bombs, yeah. Stephenn is not messing about. Turkey Cat, though, is still maintaining, I think, a good idea of the rest of the map. They're hitting the cut-off points, the victory point, well, not the cut-off point, but the victory points and the other resource points here, ensuring that he still gets a lead and keeps pressuring Stephenn there. Stephenn definitely needs to like control more of the sides of the map. He got another anti-tank and of course help counter all these Stoogs. Still hasn't upgraded the other one. I'm guessing at this point he is very focused on the Stug, well, the Panther. So I think with the current force composition Stephenn has, Esper really could also do him some good. Then again, we haven't really seen like any battle group out of Stephenn, so it's also not impossible here that Stephenn could, like, for some surprise us with an EC8, in which case having access to the Panther in reserve, of course, would be excellent for Turkey Cat. Luke's being pushed southwards here, still hasn't upgraded the armament. He's also floating like a lot of munitions here, some mines here and there, could still be a good idea for Turkey Cat. Let's get the Stug out there. 7 points. He's very close to the Panther. He is very, very close. And there we go, though it took too long to actually respond the south with the Stugs. By now, Stephenn has put up his anti-tank guns, leaving the Stugs definitely much more exposed here. Much more exposed. It's definitely a bit sluggish response here from Turkey Cat. North here, a bit of back and forth. Here, got Pioneers supported by the Akhlad here, trying to get back to the northern victory point. Stephenn still significantly behind his opponent. South here, and he's caught by the MB-42. Punch pushing forward, but the Stugs here. Turkey Cat trying to rush forward, but there you go. Anti-tank's getting shot here for the side armor. Smoke deployed. And the Pioneers up north get wiped, meaning right now Turkey Cat has absolutely zero ways of repairing his armor, short of, I don't know, going for mechanized assault. That way do it, but that's obviously a bit more expensive in some regards, and if he's going for the Panther, would obviously set him back. So that definitely falls into Pioneers, but he is closing in on the Panther here. For Stephenn, we remain with no real indicators what he's planning. Shooting Giver here as the scouts. Up north we got the Akhlad pushing forwards. Flares off. What is Stephenn's plan here? Because I'm fairly certain Turkey Cat's plan is to just chuck a Panther at him. Going for the bigger cats. So there you go. He's got the command point, you can just press that, and he's in fact very close calling in the Panther as well. Like, he almost has the manpower, he definitely has the fuel. So he just needs to go for that. More delayed fuses here. Go, Panther ready. Turkey Cat definitely getting a bit more passive, and they're going to call in the Panther now. Just needs to press that button. Meanwhile, Stephenn has in fact gone from a battle group. He's calling in the EC8 here. Racing forward for the main roads, and didn't get in the Panther enough time. Here, units not getting reinforced instead. Bit of notice, I think, here by Turkey Cat. The faster you get out the Panther, the better. And he suffered several machine gun losses now. 2 gone. And Stu's about to get knocked out. Panther's still not being called in. Bouncing 2 shots. I think Turkey Cat here is being hit. Overwhelmed a bit here by Stephenn. Stug survives. Can go for the Panther again, but still isn't. And the center troops pushing forward on both sides. And there you go. Panther out for Turkey Cat. Situation on the battlefield just got a lot more heated here between the two here. EC moving up with the Greyhound. Anti-tank into reserve here. Machine guns, punch guns are being ripped apart here. Losses are pretty fierce on the German side as Turkey Cat's assault tries to break Stephenn's line, but it's coming at a pretty horrific cost here, and it's not really getting much to show for it at the moment. At least it doesn't suffer like any infantry wipe, but it's pretty close here. His Stugs and his Akhlad are damaged, and has just got the Panther, which does bounce shots fairly well, thanks to his 80mm of slope frontal armor, and also relatively well armored gun mantlet. Though it did have a slight flaw there, which we'll slightly highlight here, is that the shots could actually deflect through here into the top of the tank. And with the last model of Panther to service, the Model G, they could actually add a small chin here to avoid that. Fun fact. Also fun fact, the early model King Tiger had the same issue, and they just fixed that on their own, but just redesigning the entire turret and just making it a lot more, you know, heavily armored. Fun fact. Ground there spotted by the Pack 40. Panther could go for it as well here. Misses the opportunity, I think, there for Turkey Cat. That said, he's blindly charging in there, go exposing the rear arm of the Panther, which is definitely not what you want to do, as the side arm of the Panther is, you know, not exactly its strong point. Frontal armor is typically what you want against the opponent's guns at all times, and right there, Turkey Cat gets punished for this particular failure. He's also lowering a victory point. Now, he's still got a good lead over Stephenn, but yeah, that Panther there got thrown away. Always keep the front towards the enemy. Do not expose the side armor. Which, by the way, is also what actual Panther commanders were instructed to do. Panzer's about to get wiped out. Quite some nice losses here for Turkey Cat against Stephenn. Stephenn's situation, while certainly it's been looking a bit bleak here for a good part of the match, has now, I think, steadily turned in his favour here, as Turkey Cat is definitely struggling with all these mortars, and I think finding like an appropriate counter to them. He's also flooding a lot of munitions. We got Stephenn there, one of Turkey Cat's machine guns. Stuke's fixed up, still hasn't upgraded the other one. Pushing forward to the punch goes against Stephenn. We got 350 on his turn 2. Most of the map is now falling into the hands of the US Army here. Branding forwards, you see it, they're being repaired back further there. 30 MD42 is MD42 here. German MD42 does appear to be the winner here, for unsurprising reason. Mostly due to more experience, and the MD42 of the Americans not in a good position. Got Stuke pushing forwards here. We still got anti-tank on the flanks here. Punches moving forwards here. Could clear it out here with a good... Oh, they used the grenade already, but still. The assault rifles and the flamethrower, of course, are an excellent choice here nonetheless. And we'll certainly make short work of the anti-tank and crew. Situation for today. Cat remains pretty bad. Mines getting set off. That's going to be a feel bad move. The Stephenn shots can, for some reason, set off mines, even if they don't hit them. Definitely rather rubbish, and hopefully something they will fix in the upcoming update. Hopefully. Machine gun in the southern point there. Maybe send some troops to grab the machine gun. I'm guessing at this point Turkey Cat's going to be setting up for another machine gun up north here. MU42, the punch support, completely halting Stephenn's northern infantry squad. I mean, we got the Grand pushing forward against the Stuke backed up here by the EC8. We could see the Stuke getting knocked out. Pack forward here. Too late though to save the Stuke. And that one goes up in flames. He does secure killing the Greyhound, but his Greyhound for Stuke is pretty good. So that was a harsh blow here. We do get another Stuke, which means he's definitely not getting any Panthers soon. So at this point, it does slightly start to feel like that Turkey Cat is losing more and more initiative here to Stephenn, and is just struggling to like maintain rapid pace and struggling to counter. We've got another EC8 out here, of course. Stephenn just adding more armor. We of course still have all these mortars, which Turkey Cat just has not been able to like really stop. Same Stuke almost done. We got the EC8 flanking behind the MD42 here, going in aggressively with the 7.6mm gun. And of course, adding a 50 cal there. Thumbs up to Stephenn. Got the arc moving up. In 2 versus 202. Up north here, EC8 up northern point here, charging for freedom and democracy. Really should just pick some of these abilities at this point. I mean, he could just go for Swing Artillery Barrage. So far, Turkey Cat just seems a bit paralyzed here. Oh, he's going to lose his Ace Panzergrenadiere with the flamethrower. That is a huge blow. In the south, we've got the Stuke and an Arctrat here versus the EC8. Almost got the EC8 here, though. This could be a good kill. Gets the EC8 there. The turret is utterly ruined. Good thing Brad Pitt wasn't running that one. And up north, there we go. The second EC8 moving about here. More Panzergrenadier here for Turkey Cat. We got 296 versus 202. But yeah, the situation with the German army here is looking rough. We do get the Swing Artillery Barrage now. We also got the Vesper there. And this ability is honestly kinda busted. Honestly, even I think Mechanized Assault is sort of low-key a bit nuts, but this one is like, you know, really good. Either way that we can see here, though, Turkey Cat just realized the situation is lost and goes GG, I guess. So game over there, game over. A fierce back and forth fight here between Stephenn and Turkeycat. Turkeycat, I think, had a very good lead. Stephenn, though, countered his strategy excellent with these mortars. 3 might have been a bit much, but it clearly worked out. Turkeycat, I feel like, failed to just get enough infantry. Also failed, I think, to utilize his battle group as effectively as possible. Use his munitions as effectively as possible, I think, was another mistake there. But also just, bring in some counter-artillery to hit back at all of these mortars. I think had Turkeycat, put up a bit more cohesive effort there, I think he would have had a much better chance versus Stephenn. I mean, he was pretty close, but in the end, Stephenn just, outplayed him and just hard countered him. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links, cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. If you like what I do, you can, by the way, donate or pledge on Patreon. The links in the description. Every bit helps me keep making these videos, so it would be appreciated. Cheers, everyone, and see you all tomorrow. Bye.